Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. Donald Trump just launched a tirade on Truth Social against Bruce Springsteen, calling him a total loser with Trump derangement syndrome. This is what our president chooses to spend his time doing in the middle of a war. Fine. If the president wants to remind us why so many Americans are listening to Springsteen right now and the artists like him who are speaking out, game on. This is what provoked that reaction from Donald Trump.
Well, this past winter, federal troops brought death and terror to the streets of Minneapolis. Well, they picked the wrong city. The power and the solidarity of the people of Minneapolis and of Minnesota was an inspiration to the entire country. Your strength and your commitment told us that this is still America. And this reactionary nightmare and these invasions of American cities will not stand. You gave us hope. You gave us courage. And for those who gave their lives, Renee Good, mother of 3, brutally murdered, Alex Pretti, VA nurse, executed by ICE, shot in the back and left to die in the street without even the decency of our lawless government investigating their deaths. Their bravery, their sacrifice, and their names will not be forgotten.
A few weeks ago, MeidasTouch and VALOR Media Networks helped produce a concert in Minneapolis at the site of Alex Pretti's murder. It was an extraordinary event. Thanks to all of you who tuned in, we had over 500,000 viewers on the live stream. It was not just a memorial for Alex Pretti and Renee Good, who were murdered by the Trump regime. It was a celebration of their lives and their legacy. The event was headlined by Dropkick Murphys, a band that has come to symbolize the power of art to resist fascism. I want to share with you a few highlights from that event, starting with a walk I took before the concert with Ken Casey, lead singer of the Dropkicks, to visit the exact location where Alex was killed.
Ken, thanks so much for coming. This day has so far been a celebration of Alex's life and what he meant to so many veterans in particular. But we're about to go see where that life was cut short. I know I'm going to be emotional because I know what he represented to my buddies, to my brothers and sisters in arms. But why are you here? What are you thinking?
Well, I look at this, as I would make that comparison to like going to the 9/11 memorial or something where an American citizen should be paying their respects and also almost like testifying to what they witnessed with their own eyes and on TV. And I feel like if you're up here, you need to show up and out of respect to Alex's memory. I don't know. It's a piece of history that will never be forgotten in this country. And I already feel it, like just walking over.
Yeah. You'll see it for yourself in a minute, but it hits hard. The flags and the flowers and like the nurses' uniforms. And this is a man who lived his life for others, and our own government took it, and they took it right there.
Well, I'm so proud of everybody here in Minnesota, how they've, represented democracy and freedom, and he is the absolute face of that.
Yeah. And so we're all going to raise money, right? Everything for today is going to Neighbors on the Neighbors, Liberty Law Center, and then the East Street Support Group, right? Go make sure that our businesses.
Oh, good. These people.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks for coming. On stage right now, bunch of veterans, patients of Alex's.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they're doing right
Oh,
now.
I should be over there for this.
We'll get you up there. We'll make sure you get time with them.
One of the most moving aspects of our tribute to Alex was the fact that so many veterans showed up to pay their respects. Remember, Alex was a VA nurse in the ICU, which meant that often he was a caregiver in a vet's last moments. Here's what my fellow vets had to say about Alex and about ICE.
We've also got some amazing veterans from across the country and some local here who are helping amplify this story and make sure that people from all across the country and all across the world are seeing what Minnesota is doing and how we're coming together. And we will not stop until ICE is abolished and every single one of those fuckers is prosecuted.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty. Wait. With liberty and what? Justice! With liberty and what? Justice! With liberty and what? Justice! For all. Please welcome the Dropkick Murphys!
America's been watching you, and you've made us all so fucking proud, man. You know? And who'd have thought of all the people, the nice, kind, fine people of Minnesota showing they got balls of steel?
Hey everyone, it's Ken. I've got another amazing writing retreat to share with you. It just opened up and it sounds incredible. It's in the City of Lights, Paris, France, and it's hosted by 2 award-winning writing coaches, Brandy Larson and Anne-Marie Kelly. Just imagine writing in a place like this. Telling stories is what makes us human, and we all have those stories in our pockets about love and loss, joy and grief. Let Brandy and Anne-Marie help you pen your stories on the page. You'll gather each morning in an historic cafe, museum, bookstore, or garden to focus on craft and storytelling. And afternoons will be spent soaking in the culture, sights, and rich literary history of one of the world's most beautiful cities. This once-in-a-lifetime retreat is for writers of all ages and experiences who long to build community, search for answers, and dismantle the roadblocks that stand in our way. Anne-Marie and Brandy practice writing as a form of healing, and don't we all need that right now? If you want to write beautiful prose in a beautiful place, join Anne-Marie and Brandy in Paris this summer. No more excuses. This world-class coaching team will help you put your stories on paper in an amazing setting. Join them. Click the link in the show notes to learn more. I also had a chance to speak with the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, who offered this perspective about the resistance in Minneapolis.
This city has been through a lot, but it is being looked to now as an example for the rest of the country and some places across the world as the exemplar of how to resist. At one point, MPD had 619 officers squared off against 4,400 ICE agents deployed to this city. As much pride as you must take in being put on that pedestal as the example of resistance, there has to be a deep level of exhaustion that is setting in amongst the people of the city who have done so much to set that example.
Of course there is. And importantly, this is about something more powerful, more complex, and I think more significant than resistance. It's about love. Yeah. You know, it's about people showing up for their neighbors. It's about understanding that there is this common humanity that binds us. And it's also about, you know, standing up for our great nation. And that's exactly what you're doing with this movement to save America. It's recognizing that, you know, at the baseline, we're all human beings. We care deeply about our families. We care about our communities. And when you got somebody that comes in by the thousands, in this case, between 3,000 and 4,000 agents that are trying to rip families apart, terrorize the people that are part of our daily lives, you know, you stand up for your neighbors. And that's exactly what's happening. But to your point, yeah, people are tired. We are relieved that the ICE agents have substantially declined. You know, we went from somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 agents as of a few weeks ago to somewhere in the hundreds. Yeah. We're getting a number of varying reports, but we're on the way.
Did you have any doubt when it became clear that DHS and ICE were going to set their sights on Minneapolis and try to make it an example? Did you have any doubt that your city would resist, that it would hold the line? Because I was here in the immediate aftermath of the murder of Renee Good, and I saw the show of force, and as a military guy, it terrified me. Mm-hmm. It terrified me what I thought was about to happen to the city. But then on the way to Powderhorn Park, I passed the lake in the middle of town. This is in the dead of January, sub-zero temperatures, and there were Minneapolitans. I learned that's what you call your fellow city residents. There were Minneapolitans who had cut a hole in the ice of that lake and were jumping in for a swim. Yeah. And I realized ICE is not going to win here.
Yeah. You know, you can't mess with Minneapolitans, and we won't let you mess with us. Never did I have a doubt about the willingness of our people in our city to stand up for each other, not even for a heartbeat. Yeah. I've seen it like again and again. And it's the kind of love that is exhibited not just through words, but with real actions. People are ready. And I have been inspired by the people that have been standing up, those that have been peacefully protesting, the soccer moms that have like these signal chats where they're dropping off food. That's still happening, by the way. And the next phase here is the patroning of some of these small local businesses that have been hit pretty hard over these last couple of months, many of them Latino or Somali owned. We got to now go there. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're wondering what can you do to help and you live in another part of the country, we got this incredible city. By the way, it's getting warmer right now. It's going to be like 50 or 60 tomorrow. And we have this beautiful city in a park. You got to come check it out and spend your money. And we got to, that's right. Concert tomorrow as well. I think there'll be thousands of people that are outside having a ball, dancing their faces off. Yep. And we party, we live large, and we want you to come party with us. So no, I'd never for a second thought that they would do anything other than stand up for each other. Now, there were some very scary moments. There was a period there where there were, I believe it was 1,800 or 2,000 military that were stationed in Alaska that were on the verge of, getting deployed to Minneapolis. I'm not even talking about ICE agents. I mean, full on military. We were deeply concerned about the invocation of the Insurrection Act, which is something that you don't mess around with, and was deeply concerning for the safety of our residents. And so, I mean, there's things that happened in this last month that, you know, don't even come to the top of the head, but you're reminded about it. You're like, holy shit, this actually happened in America. This happened in America. And this should piss everybody off. You know, you can't have a federal government attempting to coerce a local municipality to enact a national agenda based on local rules. You know, you can't try to enact your grand Make America Great Again national agenda, whatever, based on coercion. You can't come in and say, hey, you know what? We will take this occupying force out. We will remove that gun to your head if you simply hand over the voting rolls. You know? That happens in other countries, by the way. It can't happen here. And regardless of your ideological background, you should be pissed, because this is about standing up for the underpinnings of our democracy and the endurance of our republic.
Finally, I want to share a brief interview I did from the roof of the Black Forest Inn overlooking the concert stage. I'm sharing this because as important as this concert was as a demonstration of solidarity with the people of Minneapolis, The most important thing we can do to stop Trump's regime from assaulting our immigrant neighbors and murdering our own citizens in the streets is electing Democrats who will hold this regime accountable. Here's an excerpt of that rooftop conversation with Jason Knapp, a fellow Navy pilot, now a candidate for Congress in Virginia's 1st District, who flew all the way to Minneapolis to pay his respects to Alex and Renee and to continue fighting in their name.
We're at the Dropkick Murphys concert at the site of Alex Pretti's murder, literally just across the street. Ken Casey is at the mic right now, entertaining this massive crowd. You can't see a fraction of it. It goes all the way down the street, Nicollet Street, all the way to 26th here. And I wanted to bring Jason Knapp up here because he shared with me an incredible story of his reaction to the murder of Renee Good, which precipitated so much of what we're seeing here in this city. And Jason is also a fellow Navy pilot, F-18 guy, so that's okay.
It's okay.
But he's running for Congress in the Virginia's 1st Congressional District. Jason, can you share with this audience what you shared with me about what this moment meant to you?
Yeah, thanks, Ken, and thanks for having me. Honestly, I grew up as a kid with a single mom, young, and honestly, the worst fear of my childhood life was the loss of my mom. And when we all saw Renee Good killed on TV, it hurt me so bad. It brought back fears that I had long since forgotten. And it wasn't for any reason other than a out of control organization who doesn't care about our rights. And I think often about her son. I really do, all the time. And the fear that he probably is still feeling. And it just crushed me inside. This is not the America that I think we fought for. This is something else, and it has to change. This cannot be us. This is what the bad guys do, not Americans.
One of the extraordinary things about this city is that in the middle of that grief, in the middle of that anguish over seeing families ripped apart, neighbors disappeared in the middle of the night, and their own residents murdered by their own government, the resilience has this almost indescribable. It's hard to say this in the context of Renee's and Alex's death, but there is a joy to this resistance, and you see it in this crowd. You see it throughout this city. Everything they do is informed by this love for each other. It's an extraordinary community in that way. I'm sure there are other American cities like it, but I was at an event last night, and I opened just sort of spontaneously with, I'm Ken Harbaugh. I'm not from Minneapolis, but I kind of wish I was.
Right.
What have you felt being in this city?
I've been here since this morning, and it has been an outpouring of love, frankly, for somebody who is also not from here. I'm a Virginia boy. I've lived all over the world and all over the country, but this is not my town. But today, it really feels like it. Everyone that I've seen and talked to out there has been so happy with this concert, with the event. Renee and Alex, they did not want to ask for this sacrifice. But what's important and what we have to do is we have to make their lives mean something in the after effects. What they took from us were two Americans that had no right to die that day, and we need to fight back. And the fact that people out here in the rain, in the cold, are here fighting for America, fighting for the principles that Ken and I fought for decades. That's what this is all about, and it's amazing. It is an amazing feeling, and I hope this continues, and I hope that we continue to push this forward across the country and that it spreads from here.
Jason Knapp, where can people learn more about your race in Virginia?
Yeah, appreciate it. So you can learn more at JasonKnappForCongress.com.
Awesome. Great having you.
Thanks, Ken.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.